Good afternoon. So apologies, it's been probably a month since I've done a video, but being in retail, it's all about December and into New Year. So as you can imagine, it's been quite hectic around here, especially for me at work. So I thought I'd finally go over some of the presents I got from the big man himself, Santa. I've obviously made the good boy list this year, and hopefully you have all been in the same position as well. So as you can see, quite a selection here. So what I'll do, I'll get these all out of the box and go over them one by one. So let's start in age order in terms of the history of flight, and this one here, believe it or not, is my first Corgi World War I 148 scale aircraft. And it's probably a great aircraft to start with. This is the famed SE5A. For those who go to air shows in the UK, you can see two of these based at Old Walden, just over the Cambridgeshire border, not far from Duxford. At the Shuttleworth collection, they acquired a second one last year. And there's also a third one in United States Army Air Corps colours as well, which was flown once in Sywell in Northants, but sort of disappeared. But this one here is of the famed Canadian World War I ace, Billy Bishop. For those who follow the World War I aviation, Billy Bishop was the leading Allied fighter pilot from World War I, with 72 victories. And the SE5A probably changed the course of the air war, as the Allies were being completely dominated by the German air forces, and obviously the famed Red Baron and the Fokker and the Fokker triplane and Albatross, which was an enormously successful aircraft. One which is also based not far from here, actually, where I live, at a place called Stonemar, is up near Malden in Essex. It's a beautiful example of World War I aircraft there as well, and it's well worth a trip if you're in this area. My little one absolutely loved it. Yeah, I'm really impressed by these. It's probably a dangerous path to go down, because that's another 30 aircraft now I need to go after, but I'll certainly be looking at it. And sort of comparing them to the 172, sort of, I know they're 148, they're not massively bigger, but they certainly weigh some good weight as well. But the detail in terms of the rigging is really good on it. You've got a pilot figure obviously in the cockpit as well, as you can see. And the great thing is, with its wheels fixed down, there's no assembly required out the box and on the shelf. But yeah, really good looking aircraft, and certainly one now I'll be going after. So the next example, chronologically, would be this lovely Hawker Hurricane Mk1. This one's in the colours of YBW, which was then flown by the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. This is a wheels up only example, very similar to the old Corgi Warbirds range, but this one was from the flight range, and this was aimed predominantly at the younger collector, dare I say child. And on the back there's some examples of what you can get in terms of a Typhoon, Red Arrow, a Supermarine Spitfire Mk1, which is in Battle of Britain Memorial flight colours, an ME109, obviously the Hurricane there, a Lancaster in 144 scale, and the famed P51D Jumping Jock. This one here is my third example in this range, and it's going to be recoded. So I've got two already, and I've taken the W code off. One of them is going into YBC, which is an aircraft that crashed in my hometown of Corringham in Essex in 1940, in July of 1940. It forced landed at Southend Road, not far from where I live. So I thought it'd be a nice touch. Another one was going into an example, which I believe is YBY, which crashed where I currently work in a place called Wickford, Essex, and this aircraft was flown by a young New Zealander whose name escapes me, and it crashed in a place called Shotgate, which is just literally on the outskirts of Wickford. And the local air cadets who my store sponsor, or did last year, they actually made a model of it, and it's inspired me to do one as well. So I'll be doing that sort of, and it'll make a nice little trio to go with the YBW. This is also made by Model Zone as well. There was a Model Zone exclusive. As you know, there is no aerial in this one, no hole for an aerial, but that's easily rectified. And also, if you have a look on the bottom, the actual undercarriage can be prized out as well if you're a bit clever, to make it wheels down if you wish. It's very gently glued in there, nothing. A bit of warm water should help sort of move, hopefully. I've done that before and put undercarriage in, and they'll slot in just standard Corgi Hurricane undercut. So yeah, so there's that one. The next one is an oldie but goldie, and that's EBF of the pilot Bram van der Stok, Dutch pilot for 41 Squadron based at RAF Merston in April 1942. And this is famous purely because he was one of the famed Great Escape captives. One of a trio of aircraft Corgi produced in the green and grey camo of Mark V Spitfires. If I was to be honest, not the most exciting of schemes. These were going for like 15 quid in an old Black Friday sale in, would have been, I'm guessing, 2013, 2014 time when they were going for silly money. So I picked a few of them up, but this one is purely a replacement for a damaged one that had a damaged cannon. If you have a look, there's absolutely no dehydral there at all. This is one of the aircraft I think Corgi could have a look at retooling. In terms of this one's actually got a stuck engine cover on. But if Corgi removes that, very similar to the new style Mustang, I think it will make the lineage look a lot better. Certainly need to do something with them wings. The wings just don't look right. It should have a nice little bend in it, straight as a Hurricane, almost. Yeah, not the most exciting of aircraft, but certainly one that will fill a gap in the collection. Right, next, a couple of Luftwaffe, a couple of the bad guys. And they're both Witty Wings or Sky Guardians ME109 Gs. So the first one here is a G6, and this aircraft is obviously in its RAF markings, and on the actual cover of the box it doesn't really look much. I think it looks pretty poor, but when you get out of the box it's quite a nice little rendition. It'll go nice in a captured aircraft collection. So as you know, for those who follow Corgi, the old collector club used to do the wolves in sheep's clothing, so the RAF fighters in German markings. Skymax did an LA9 or an LA7 in markings as well, and Gemini did the Mustang, the P51D in captured markings as well, and you can also get an Oxford Mark 1 in German markings. In terms of the British Luftwaffe aircraft, you can get obviously this. Corgi released a Focke-Wulf 190, which I'm yet to get, and a Stuka, and Hobbymaster released a Stuka as well, which I'm yet to get. But yeah, it's quite a nice little aircraft. This was flown by Eric Wrinkle Brown at some point during his test flying duties at Farnborough. But again, you know, it's just, it looks really quite nice, and it's an unusual sort of specimen to put on there. The next one is also a Messerschmitt ME109G. It's a G6, and this is from JG3, and it's white one, and quite a nice little motive on the side there. I mean, one of the real disappointments with Witty Wings and Sky Guardians is they don't really provide any information of the aircraft other than on the stand, which isn't the best looking stands either. But this is a really unusual scheme, and it'll go lovely with the Messerschmitt collection, which I'm building up and up and up. Not many more of the Witties to go after now, and unfortunately I don't make them anymore, but you know, I know they're fixed undercarriage, and you know, the detailing isn't, you know, there's no sort of panelling really on them at all, but they're nice little renditions of a quite famous fighter. The next one is probably the star of the show, and a real unusual aircraft, and that's the Dornier Due 215 B5, and this is a night fighter in an unusual sort of grey and sort of strange green, really, I think. And this one's based in Leeuwarden in Holland in 1942. It'll go lovely with my night fighter collection. So I've got a few, well, I've got pretty much all the German night fighters now. So I've got the Ju-88 in its all black scheme, which I got last year. I've got both the ME110s, Corgi released, plus obviously an Oxford black one as well, and also a Hobbymaster ME110 in sort of grey scheme with the antlers on. And I've also got this version, a black version of this, which I picked up at the RAF Museum for silly money last year, and it's beautiful. This one needs a little bit of a clean, so apologies that I've not quite got around to that yet. I need to get some cotton wool buds on that bit there. As you can see, it's very, very dusty, and around sort of the engine exhaust as well. But it's a lovely looking aircraft, really, really nice. And go with your German bomber collections, which seems to be growing and growing and growing. Just give you a bit more of a walk around. Yeah, really nice looking plane, and one I've been after for a long, long time. Here we go, first American fighter of the day, and the only American fighter actually, and that's the final piece of the jigsaw for me in terms of the new mould Mustangs, and this one's Hurry Home Honey. When they first came out, I don't think they really nailed the schemes in terms of much excitement, or so I thought anyhow. I mean, once I got Daddy's Girl, the previous one, I was really impressed with it, and I see this actually at a toy fair in Brentwood near me, and the missus very kindly bought it for me for Christmas, and it's the final one I need. I've got the Warbirds version of this, which is wheels up only, and that's a lovely looking aircraft, but this is stunning, absolutely brilliant, and I sort of love the Dragon Wings P51D, and I love the Gemini's Bs and Cs, but this is fantastic. In terms of the big frustration for anybody who's got Corgi Mustangs, originally obviously you had the big engine joint there where the cowling can come off, you can see the engine, which was a bit pointless in this scale. And the big problems around the Mustangs was the undercarriage in terms of getting them to fit tight. They've done a really good job, both with the outside, the wheels, the pegs on them are much more solid and sturdy, they're going lovely, and also the undercarriage doors underneath now, they've got big thicker pegs. The only problem I've found, and it is a constructive feedback, is obviously as it comes in the box, it comes with the undercarriage fitted. It is a bit tricky to get out. You've got to be very careful. If you're cumbersome like me, you could end up with a disaster with the pegs stuck in. Love the flaps away. I like the stuff wheels down predominantly. So I put the flaps in the down position, and these ones, out of all of the new ones, actually come out really cleanly. They can be very stiff, so just be very careful, don't go and be sort of all brutal with them trying to get them out, because they can snap, and that's the last thing you want. I've not actually had that yet, but I could see it happening with how dozy I am. Again, if you're a D-Day fan, you've got the half stripes, so you've got the fuselage stripes, none on the wings, curiously, so this is obviously post D-Day, so I think this is 1945. July 1944, so they've actually removed the D-Day stripes pretty quick, so it is a D-Day plus, a D-Day one to go after. Hopefully with the new release catalogue coming out next week, we'll see maybe 1 or 2 new examples of the Mustang. I think it's deserving of it. More to come out a little bit later. The next one is the only jet of the gang, and this is quite a late meteor in terms of examples, but bear in mind it was they first served in early 1945, and this is an aircraft base in RAF Changi in Singapore in 1969, an airfield I know my dad certainly went to when he was serving in the RAF, and a very sort of high-vis theme scheme. I believe it's a target tug because it's got the, if I can show you underneath, this is the point where all the bits fall out. Black and yellow underneath, so it would pull targets for a more modern aircraft to fire at. Lovely looking scheme with the high-vis orange on there. Again, just another one really. I see at the toy fair, the missus picked up, got this for 15 quid, which is an absolute bargain. Obviously it's the older tall Meteor, but even still, I think it's a lovely little addition to the collection. And finally, the Hawker Hurricane's bigger brother, the lovely Tempest 5 with its lovely Napier Sabre up front. This is made by Skymax, which is a subsidiary of Hobby Master. They sort of disappeared for a while, but they've come back now with a few Kates and Vals and whatnot. But for those who like the Hawker fighters, you need to go and get one of these. The only real nitpicking I can say is there's no pilot in there, which is a bit of a pain, but the more experienced modelers probably be able to prize that canopy off and get your Hobby Master pilot in there. They do sell them as sets. Really nice looking scheme. This is very similar to the one based hanging from the ceiling at Duxford in Cambridgeshire. If you ever get a chance to go there, more sort of the international visitors. I mean, I'm there sort of 3, 4, maybe 5 times a year. Really lovely museum. Lots of flying always going on if you turn up in the sort of spring and summer months. So with Spitfire flights and whatnot going on. And this has got the yellow and black target tug colours underneath. One of the few Hawker Tempests I was at stand, there was only one more to go now, which is a plain schemes one, which is very seldom seen. Lovely addition to my Christmas present list, and one I weren't really expecting. Okay, that's it from me this week. I will be doing quite an extensive list of videos on Monday the 6th of January. As you're probably aware, Hornby, Corgi, Sky Electrics and Airfix are all releasing their 2020 releases. So it's going to be quite a hefty day of videos. I'll break it down into World War I and helicopters, World War II, and then post World War II, so all jets included. So I'll do 3 separate videos and a series of faults on it. Really looking forward to Monday, quite a bit of excitement in the air. There's still a few more aircraft to get from this year's catalogue yet, so I'm yet to receive the Beaufighter, the new Stuka, the Ju-88, which hasn't come out as yet, and of course the Tornado Power. High hopes for the catalogue on Monday, and hopeful that they will re-release the Corgi Collectors Club as well. So I would guess the third Tornado from the trio will be a part of a Corgi Collector Club exclusive, but well worth looking into. They've done some great models over the years, including the P47 War Eagle, which is sort of Snafu's sister ship. And it's well worth joining because you get your 10% discount from the Corgi website as well. Right, that's it from me. As always, thanks for all the love and support on Instagram. We're approaching that magic 10,000 followers mark, which is a huge thing, and never expected to get anywhere near. Just did this for a bit of fun and enjoyment. Hope you all have a brilliant new year, and hope, like I said, you're all on the good boys and girls list from Santa, and you receive plenty of Diecast to add to your collections. Okay, that's it from me. I'll speak to you soon. So as I alluded to at the end of the video, we got the big 2020 launch from Corgi through the Hornby website on Monday the 6th of January at 6 AM British time. Really exciting times. Only comes once a year now, as they only release everything in the January for the remainder of 2020. But some high hopes out there. I'm really hoping for a Bomber Command Hamden, lots of opportunities to do different schemes, especially a Coastal Command one, which will sit brilliantly within the collections. And there's also lots of rumours around the 148 Harrier. If you have a look on the Corgi website, you'll see a silhouette of a Harrier in the background. It may well just be just a coincidence, but we shall see. The 148 range has done really well, in particular the Phantom, which is yet to reach my collection, but it's certainly one for the agenda. Again, also in terms of wants, an RAF Phantom might well be required as well. So anyhow, like I said, tune in next Monday the 6th of January. I'll have to do it after work, so it'll probably be early evening British time. I'll do my thoughts on it. I'll do 2 or 3 videos around my feelings on the catalogue. High hopes and expectations as always. Again, any thoughts you may have, let us know, and I'll see if I can feed back on that. Anyhow, on to I wish you all a very happy 2020 and hopefully a very successful one collecting wise. Take care.